I received a question from one of my followers, from one of our followers, and I thought it was a great question. The question is, what happens when your partner won't open up? And this is a very common thing that happens in marriage. And I want to take a moment to talk about it because, listen, when you're married, you are going to deal with someone who they have so much built up hurt and built up pain, whether it's something that was caused in the marriage, whether it was something that was caused before marriage, that it will be very hard to crack the shell. And that can be very frustrating in marriage because you literally try everything, you throw everything at it to try to break it. And sometimes it gets so frustrating that it causes break in the marriage. Now, we don't want that. So, how do we fix it? How do we reach someone who's so guarded that you can't get through no matter what you do? I want to talk about it. I want to give you 4 simple steps. First of all, I want you to understand why people are guarded. Sometimes people are guarded because they don't have a safe space, which means that they don't trust that you can handle their pain. They don't trust that you can handle the things that they're going through. And so because of that, they want to keep all of their feelings, all of their pain, all of their frustrations into themselves. But only a person that loves can break through, but it's not in the way that you think. You have to be patient. You have to be patient and you have to be trusting. And I want to use this analogy to help you guys understand what it's going to take to break through to a spouse who may be guarded. Imagine if you adopted a dog that had been abused all of its life. And the dog desperately wants food, desperately needs water, but they are so distrusting that they won't come to you. So every day, what do? You don't force feed the dog. You don't force the dog to drink. What do? You lovingly guide the dog towards the water ball, or you move you give him 1 or 2 pieces out of the dog of his dog food to let him know that you can be trusted, that when they take something from you, that you won't hurt them. You can't give them all the love. You can't force them to talk. You can't force them to open up. You have to create a safe environment to let them know that when they do, when they give you little pieces of information about whatever is bothering them, you handle it with care. The second thing is this: try your best not to weaponize their pain, because their silence is not distance. Their silence is not rejection towards you. Their silence sometimes, especially with men, could be the fact that they're internalizing what they're feeling before they express it, because men are solutions oriented. If they feel like they can fix it themselves or they feel like they can solve it themselves, then 9 times out of 10, they may not even bring it to you. Is weighing heavily on their heart, not weaponize their pain. When they give you just a little bit of information, you've got to be very gentle with that information. You've got to be safe. You got to let them know, this information that you're giving me, I'm gonna guard it with my life. And sometimes you have to model vulnerability. What that means is that sometimes they want to open up, but they don't know how to start. So what you can say to them is, I've been feeling a little distant. I've been feeling a disconnect. I'm not sure what is coming from, but if you want to talk about it, I'm open to it. I'm willing to listen, and maybe we can reach some solution. The thing that you can do is you can encourage connection in their love language. And this is the reason why I say all the time that it's very important to know your partner's love language. If your partner's love language is service, they may not be able to talk about what's bothering them, but you can serve them in an area that makes them feel safe. You can feed them a good plate of food. You can run them a warm bath. When they come home, you can light a candle. Those are the things that communicate to a person that is closed up, that their environment is safe, that you are safe, that you are creating a loving, open environment. So when it's time for them to share, they don't feel like they can't. Next thing that I would say is you've got to pray and be patient. Don't discount the power of prayer and to a higher source. and recognize that there are some things that are beyond you. There are some things that you can't fix. Only God can fix. And when you know that there are some things that are just out of your hands. You do the best that you can do and you give the rest to God. The last thing that I would say is know when to seek help. There's some things that you can't fix alone. You're going to need therapy. You're going to need counseling. You're going to need an interventionalist or somebody that is able to accurately describe what your partner is feeling and maybe even give you solutions as to what you're supposed to do. So to the person that sent that question, I really thank you for the question. It's a great question, but I want you to understand that you're not alone. It happens in marriage. There are some things that happen to us before marriage, during marriage, after marriage that causes such deep pain and such deep hurt that it occludes our ability to communicate it. And when that happens, I heard someone say it like this, and I think it's so necessary, such a necessary way and such a brilliant way to say it. They said that you have to be an extension of God. To that person, and however that is communicated, whether it's holding their hand, whether it's rubbing their head, running bath water, lighting a candle, prayer and meditation, patience, whatever that is, your goal is to be an extension of God's grace to your spouse.